Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a new Idle Huntress video. Today's video will be a Hercules showcase. She's out for the next 2 weeks, and this is going to give you information about her kit, should you roll for her, how many should you roll for her, and just little bits of min-max information. Hercules was supposed to be a UR character and will be a UR character in the future. However, they have nerfed her for some reason, just to try to get more money out of us, right? Also, in the future, we are going to expect to see Carmen and Dodgy as SSRs as well. They will then get their UR upgrades, but they're going to pull the same crap another 2 times. So keep in mind, I'm guessing Carmen's going to come after Hercules after that 2 weeks, and then it's going to be Dodgy after another 2 weeks of that. And then once that's done, we'll probably get UR for Octavius and the rest of the crew with all those new mechanics. Back to Hercules. She is a new Earth unit, was supposed to be UR, but is now SSR, and we'll start with her first skill. Stone Pillar. At level 1, Hercules kills all enemy summons and spawns 4 stone pillars at empty enemy locations. If there are no vacancies, then use Sand Crash. Stone Pillars. Now, when they spawn, they deal physical damage equal to 50% of attack, plus 0.8% of current HP to adjacent targets, with 8% of chance to place Sand Cage on them. That's going to synergize well with Cleopatra. Now, these Stone Pillars are immune to damage and debuffs. They occupy vacant spots and do not take any actions. When Hercules dies, the pillars are then destroyed. Now, Sand Cage, the target can't move and dodge. There's a 50% chance to break the Sand Cage when the target takes action. If they successfully break the cage, then they are able to take action and unlock the effect of being trapped. For every 1% of the caster's mind higher than the target's break success rate will be decreased by 1% or vice versa. Casting Sand Cage, if the target has already been bound, comparing the might of the current caster and the previous caster, Sand Cage will then be dealt to the enemy by the caster with the higher might. At level 2, physical damage increases to 60% of attack and 1% of current HP. Chance to place Sand Cage increases to 12%. Now at level 3, the physical damage increases 70% of attack and 1.2% of current HP, and the chance for Sand Cage increases to 16%. Now, this first skill is absolutely cracked because we're going to get Sand Cage, which is also going to really synergize with Cleopatra's Sand Cages, because now the enemy team is covered in pillars and they can't move. So it's great. It's also going to counter Chiome, Darwin, Mandel, anybody with a fodder unit, as I think Dodgy has some in the future. And so this is going to fill the board up so that they can't move and that they're locked in place and they can't make use of their cool abilities. Now, to her ultra skill, Sand Crash. At level 1, Hercules triggers the earth elements to tremble, dealing physical damage equal to 240% of attack to enemies on the same column, dealing an additional physical damage equal to 6% of her current HP to targets already in Sand Cage. Also has a 24% chance to trap the targets in a Sand Cage. Now, same thing applies, like the previous Sand Cage description, and at level 2, physical damage increases to 320% of attack, and the chance to place a Sand Cage is 32%, and additional damage is 8% of current HP, and at level 3, damage increases to 400%, and then Sand Cage chance is 40%, and additional damage is 10% of current HP. Just like Cleopatra's skill, this is going to absolutely deal massive damage to the enemy team. However, because she's not DPS, she's not going to be doing too much damage. However, these Sand Cages are what's going to be very important in preventing the enemy team from literally doing anything. Which, for both Cleopatra and Hercules, you really need to have Tamamo on that team with EE so that she can really hammer down on her EE and just deal massive damage because the Sand Cages count as active debuffs. Now for her first passive, Cold Resistance. At level 1, after Hercules takes an action, this includes auto attacks, normal skills, ultra skills, there's a 50% chance to place 1 stack of ice resistance on herself and her allies. Now this ice resistance is the same as Cleo's. With each stack, the final damage reduction is increased by 5%, and the number of frost marks required to freeze is going to up by another 1. But this can effectively stack up to 10 times and cannot be dispelled. So once again, extra anti-freeze against a Catherine team. At level 2, the chance increases to 100% to apply, and at level 3 you are now applying 2 stacks. So with Cleo and Hercules at the level you needed for this skill, you are not ever going to freeze from a Catherine team. with this setup, as well as that team will probably be in sand cages permanently. Onto her second passive, Natural Born Strength. The blood of the gods runs through Hercules' veins, increasing her HP by 15% and toughness by 3%. At level 2, HP increases to 20% and tenacity increases to 4%, and at level 3, HP increases to 25% and tenacity increases to 5%. If you ever see toughness, it's just tenacity, and it was mistranslated. Now for her EE exclusive equipment, you have Tough Fortification. At level 1, defense increases to 15%, level 2, attack increases to 20%, and at level 3, final damage reduction increases to 5%. Now at level 4, EE 30, at the start of the battle, if an Earth Huntress is behind and next to Hercules, then they will apply a shield. This shield is then equal to 16% of Hercules' max HP for 2 rounds. If the Huntress is not an Earth unit, then this HP shield is then halved at 8% for 2 rounds. Level 5 EE 40, the shield is now 26 and 13% respectively, and then at level 6 EE 50, the shields are now 36 and 18% respectively. So this is a really good EE. However, it doesn't apply to Hercules. So she's supposed to be a tank and supposed to take reduced damage and is supposed to have a lot of health. However, she's not really defending herself as much as Hannibal is, as you can see here with that shield. The shield is actually keeping Hannibal alive, and so at the moment, until Hercules actually gets her UR upgrades and her familiar, she's not going to survive as long as Hannibal can with EE 50. Now, Bestial Instinct is technically her first UR upgrade, and this will unlock at 6 stars. Hercules' normal attacks deal additional physical damage equal to 3% of Hercules' current HP, so the more tanky you make her, the more damage she's doing. Pretty good, just like Take, right? However, her second UR upgrade at UR 3 stars, a whole nother system, right, is actually even more broken and was in what makes her really stronger and viable in these certain comps. And finally, for her kit, we have badges and runes. We're going to go 4 green runes on her because this is going to give her additional healing and additional HP. So we're going to give her all 3 HP percentages and then speed on the top left. We still want her fast so that she gets those pillars off immediately, but definitely we want her really, really tanky so that she's doing more damage, but also just surviving in general. For badges, we are going to want to make her very fast because we want those pillars off so that Shiome can't do anything. They want to give her toughness / tenacity, but I would rather give her HP. I think the toughness is going to help with the cages and make sure that they remain locked, but I'd rather her just be tanky and giving shields to the rest of the team. Do what you will, build what you have available and what you can afford. Okay, now her kit is out of the way. We will go through my Discord breakdown. This is going to have notes from the community Discord as well as my own notes and the JP Wiki that I've translated. Okay, on the wiki, she's got a 9.0 out of 10, and should you roll for her, do not do that, because she's not UR, she's not really usable at the moment. She's still pretty good, but not where she could be. Only grab 1 copy of her and sit on it. If you are down bad like me and you like that second skin way more, then definitely you can go for that 3 stars if you can afford to. I cannot. I need like another $100 and I don't have it, so rip me. But I'll get it eventually. The recommended breakthrough is actually UR star 3 and to have her familiar, so it's not possible at the moment. So definitely you're going to want to wait if you really do like her. Obviously spend the money how you want to spend it, but at the moment you can save your time. Where she's going to be used solely in PvP and PvE against Huntresses. The boss monsters are not affected by Sand Cage and she won't be doing anything to them at all. Once again, her first skill is actually cracked and is going to counter Shiome super hard because she cannot dodge with her clones. The pillars will appear with her first skill and are not treated as enemies or allies, and therefore the presence of the pillars will not activate the buff according to the number of surviving allies possessed by Tokugawa in Richard. Hercules can block the enemy's actions and evasion with Sand Cage, and enemies who fail to escape from the Sand Cage will be dealt physical damage that depends on their own HP. So it can maintain your HP and you can expect a large amount of damage. Once again, Hercules and Cleopatra are going to go very well together, especially if Cleopatra has her EE. There's going to be massive amounts of cold resistant stacks, therefore they will not be frozen, and they will be taking reduced damage. Hercules' special equipment is going to give her, the allies behind her and next to her additional shielding. It will not give it to herself, so that's a problem at the moment. Even though this might appear as Hercules is very broken, she doesn't have much utility after the rock pillars and the Sand Cage. The rock pillars will then just disappear when she dies. So if you have someone to focus her, like a Jung or a Thor, she's toast. She's meant to be a tank, but because she doesn't have her pet or UR stats, she doesn't have the actual abilities and the numbers to back it up. So Hannibal is still the best, like, bang for your buck earth tank wise. But once she does become UR and you have $1 million to burn on this game, then she will become the best earth tank and will be great with Cleopatra. So yeah, only grab 1 copy of her if you just want to collect. If you are down bad, you can get the 6 copies of her and get the second skin. I like that one the best. But yeah, I hope this answered y'all's questions about Hercules. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.